Cross the moon in 1 second. But do you know how many things had to be planned to get this shot? Gear, settings, timing, location. Miss any of them and the shot's gone. Hello PhotoPiller, Rafael, the bar here. Today I'm gonna show you how to photograph one of the coolest photos that you can take. A plane flying straight through the moon. We'll see the gear you need and the camera settings you need to nail the shot. But first, as always, everything begins with a plan. So how do you actually plan a moon plane alignment like this one? First, we use the app FlightRadar24 to gather 3 key elements: which runway the planes are using, the plane's altitude at approaches landing, and the plane model, so you know its size. Then we jump onto PhotoPills to figure out the exact shooting spot and the exact shooting date and time the plane will cross the moon. And this is what the final plan looks like. The red pin is your camera position, the black pin shows where the plane will be, and the time bar marks the exact second the magic will happen. In this case, July 7th, 2025 at 8:49 p.m. Now, before we dive into gear and camera settings, a quick heads up. Want to see how I exactly planned this alignment? I covered the whole process step by step in last week's video. Go check it out after this one. It's packed with tips. Alright, let's start gear. To capture the moment the plane crosses the moon, all you need is your camera, of course, a DSLR or mirrorless with manual settings will do the job, a telephoto lens with image stabilization. I recommend something in the 300 to 600 millimeters range. You'll need that reach to fill the frame with both the moon and the plane. And no tripods needed. You'll need to move fast to adjust your position and reframe as needed. So shoot handheld. It gives much more freedom to react in real time. On the day of the shoot, before you even grab your gear and head out, there is one thing you must do. Check the FlightRadar24 app again. Why? Because the landing runway might change depending on the wind direction. If planes are not flying the expected path, your alignment is gone. But if everything looks good, let's go. Arrive at the planned shooting spot, the red pin, at least 1 hour before the shooting time. You already start seeing planes in the sky, so use the PhotoPills AR to double check that you are at the right position. When ready, attach the telephoto lens to the camera, set the camera to manual mode, and turn on the lens stabilization. You'll be shooting handheld, remember. Now set the focal length you wish to use, usually between 300 and 600 millimeters. They work great. The aperture to f9, which is the sweetest spot for sharpness in most of the telephoto lenses. Set a fast shutter speed, like 1/500 seconds, 1/1000 seconds, or faster. You need to freeze that plane. And finally, set a low ISO. A low ISO that gives you the photo correctly exposed. Usually an ISO between 200 and 400 will do the job on the light that you have, but that of course depends on the ambient light that you have at the time of the shooting. And this works for daytime, golden hour, blue hour, the twilights, and nighttime. If there is enough ambient light, you don't have to crank up the ISO. And at night, what happens? Well, at night you expose for the moon, and the plane becomes a cool silhouette. Where to focus? Focus on the moon. Why? Because the plane is flying at several kilometers of distance. So when you focus on the moon, the plane will also look exactly sharp in the photo. Now the final checks before the moment of truth. Take a few test shots, check your focus, check your exposure, and make the necessary adjustments, if needed, of course. And get ready, because when the plane crosses the moon, you only have 1 second to make it count. And if you wish to learn more about how to plan the moon or photograph the moon, I invite you to download and study well our super detailed moon photography guide. I'm gonna leave a link to the guide in the description of this video and in the first comment below. Download it, it's free. And as always, remember that you have the power to imagine, plan, and shoot. Legendary photos, bye!